Shalom Israel. Yashal, a quick video giving all praises to Yahweh by Shemi Awashai by Shemra Kakadash. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Awashai, double honors to the apostle, elder bishops, great millstone, much salutations to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect, most high will, to the hopeful extended elect, Shalom blessings. Man, women, and children, just getting right into it with Rick Chow, convenience store killing trial. This is a cold case. Young teen was murdered. I think they said he looked. Camera. They accused him of stealing something. He said he didn't have anything. They chased him out of the store, and I guess caught up with him and shot him. And they said he wasn't carrying a gun. He's to the right, and I don't know if this is staged, and I say that because they tend to sometimes act out these things to incite racial tension among blacks and so-called blacks, so-called whites. We don't know if his mother was a Freemason, whatever, his parents, whatever. Like Trayvon Martin, his parents, as far as I remember reading, his parents were Freemasons. I say that too is because they are part of the system. But regardless, I mean, the people believe this is what it is. It was, he shot him cold-blooded, and his verdict was not guilty. The names could play a part too. Rick Chow. I mean, Chow is like that name alone. It's a you think about Chinese people, and sometimes those kind of elements in a story trigger people. I ain't fucking Chinese. And these are, we don't care about the heathen. That's the guy on the left. And we keep telling our people anyway that the heathens don't love us. And they're not. And God doesn't love them, and we don't love them. They keep trying to, the ones that know the truth, they keep trying to admit these people into the fold of the Israelite nation, to be saved from judgment and destruction. Now they got a different other people coming forth saying that he shot him as he stumbled to get up during the chase. Another woman testified saying she saw him, and another testified that saying that he didn't have that the victim didn't have a gun, so there was no reason for this man to shoot him. So whatever the case is, the trial has gone through, and he was considered not guilty. You got protesters, and this reminds our people, it echoes at what happened to Natasha Harlins in L.A. A Chinese woman shot her over some milk. In this incident, they're saying he got shot over a bottle of water. And we often talk about the children of today. We talk about, sometimes refer them to ninjas and mama boys and spoiled brats, and if we had an Israelite nation intact to where we actually had power to judge and bring forth judgment like they do with the courts, we would consider the matter. We wouldn't just be like, oh, because he's so-called, he's a black youth, and he's in Chinese store, then he's automatically not guilty. No, we would take the case and thoroughly look into it, and if he was stealing, you know, we would bear that part. But it says in the Bible, if a man steals, he's able to return those goods, and you have to return, think sevenfold. You know, you're able to return back the goods, but it's not a sin into death. So, you know, this is anger built up from these nations. The byword among these Chinese that is often talked about, or every now and then talked about. They put it in the comedy movies. Buy or get out, buy or get out, and it tells you that we're going to have no ease among these nations. We're going to be a byword and a reproach among these nations, and I mean all these nations: the Chinese nation, the African nation, the Arab nation, and so forth. Especially the Edom nation, the so-called white people. So we're not surprised if this is true. We're not surprised that they would do this. Like I said, Natasha and Harlan's in LA, they did it then. And let me get that scripture right quick. If a man steals, I wanted to get this one after, since it's already up. I'll get it right now. Zechariah 11:5. It says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their owner shepherds pity. They own shepherds pity them not. Pity them not." So, and they possess, along with Edomites, they're they're above us. And these are in a lot of times in Jake's neighborhood, or they have set up tent, so to speak, in Jake's neighborhood. And whether it's the Korean store, the salon, the Chinese store, whatever, and there's tension every now and then. There's tension that gets built up, and there's a brawl or something like that. Same thing with any other nation. But so we always tell you too, China got investment in America, so you're gonna continue to see salons, Chinese restaurants, Chinese convenience stores, and what was I gonna say? Man steals. Let me see if it pops up. Being the law. If a man sell his daughter to, okay, if a man if it says 22:1, if a man, this is just an example, if a man steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. Let me go to the actual verse. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there should be blood shed for him, for he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. So, if the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. But they killed the young man, you know. There are sins unto death. There's another one. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the theft be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he had put his hand into his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing which another challenges to be his, the cause of both parties shall come forth before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. So we know these heathens don't follow the law, of course, and they're antsy and shaky in the beginning. You know, they when a black person's into, they already got the gun under the counter. They got the broomstick in the corner. You know, they're ready. You know, and they're willing to live under those conditions because they're getting hella money from Jake. Jake buys liquor from there, you know, gas, chips, whatever it may be, you know. And basically, the main reason why they're why they keep prospering financially in business. But there's neither here nor there. He seemed like he was stealing. I looked at the video, and State Slams gas station owner accused of shooting teen in closing arguments. But like I said, you know, if you have a store and somebody steals and he runs off, like it's like the scriptures say. But you know, even in, I'm thinking of me having you know, a store, and either might come in, a mall might come in and he steals. You're gonna be mad as hell. You're gonna be like, oh, these mother effers. And if you do have some kind of security, or even you going out yourself, I wouldn't think to kill the man. But I would definitely be like, you know, get my property back. If he doesn't have it, you know, put hands on him a little bit and tell him not to come back no more. You know, um, that would be the anger of toward what they did. Then you be like, well, you know, yeah. So they come back and they kind of be a plague into you. Then you would take it by means of the law, or whatever. If they threaten your life, of course, that'll be different. You know, that's something different. So they said the young man didn't have a gun. They call that will. They said the store owner stood over him and shot him. So, like I said, you know, I don't know if this was staged, but so far, how people was taking it is a real story. And we are in the times of distraction and all that. Distractions, because it's a lot going on, a lot they're planning and plotting for these next couple of years. You know, they just had their 250th anniversary. And you know they say that you see that's why I say like these subliminals. I don't know if somebody put that up on his shirt, but he got a shirt of Chucky on it, a picture of Chucky on his shirt. Um, so I don't know if that's what he really had on, or if that's somebody put this together. Um, you could watch the footage yourself. I don't want them to flag me or whatever. Let me see if that shirt. And if you don't, if you know what I'm saying by fixed and rigged. If we mentioned it lately, the Truman Show. Everything's a stage. Everything's a show. A lot of people are actors. You know, he could be an actor, but it looks real. You know, so we're just gonna assume that it's real and take it as real. Uh, I don't want to really say too much more. It is what it is, and yeah, he does have Chucky on his shirt, as far as I see. Uh, and it got in quotations, "I don't have no water." Jerry sees video of teen in store before owner killed him. So they accused him taking a water bottle. He said he didn't have a water bottle, and then in the video they'll show him running into the store. Running out the store from the store owners. He looked like he got away. He's pretty fast, so I don't know how they caught up with him. But that's another story. But like I said, we keeping our eyes open. You know, we know what they do. We know they hate our people. We know they stage a lot of stuff. Um, and we know that every time and again, this card gets pulled. That, you know, just like it was with Natasha Harlan in L.A. But now I think in her case, and her, you know, with her case, I think they actually show footage on the news of her getting shot with her back turned and falling. I think they showed that as much. They didn't, as far as I see, they didn't show him actually getting shot. But I think Natasha Harlan's case, she actually hit the floor, and that's what made people even madder than, you know, mad can get. And it was a time of you know, that raised racial tension, and I think that was the time of the gang truce and all that. So it was a lot going on. But you know, we'll keep our eyes open. But you know, another cold case, and we know what it is, and we know that they're about to go down, and we know these nations are nothing to the Most High, less than nothing, even spittle and vanity. So they're gonna get theirs anyway. They're gonna get theirs anyway, man. Even if this young man was stealing, and you know he did a criminal offense, whatever. You know, like I said, if we had a jurisdiction and they said, well, and they sent him back to us, and they say, well, what are you gonna do with him? Well, we'll say, well, we'll judge the matter. We're definitely not gonna kill him. You know. So, um, yeah, these devils are going into in judgment. Anyway, to the next video. Hopefully, it's edifying. Shalom.